4. As we all know, Formula 4 Southeast Asia has got 6 races per weekend, and the boys have done 3 races today. We've had 3 exciting races, so race 4 will be a bit more and more exciting, because now we've got a double race winner from this weekend, Hugo the Wheel, on pole position again, followed by Daniel Chow, Nazim Azman. These 3 guys have already got their podiums today, followed by also, I believe it's Kane Shepherd, another podium finisher in the previous 3 races.
And we have Sam and Ben Grimes at the back of the grid, the brothers Grimes. They were really strong contenders at the previous event, but they seem to have had a little bit of trouble this weekend. Perhaps they can pull together, they can team together and team up on everyone.
Yeah, I spoke with Ben and Sam earlier. From race 1 to 3, they were on one set of tires. That's our regulations, right? So for race 4, they're now on brand new tires. So Ben believes he can do a bit better than what he did earlier in the day.
Okay, so they're having a bit of trouble wearing the tires, but with fresh rubber,
they're hoping for a better performance.
Okay, so what's happening now is the drivers are lining up for the starting grid.
They're finishing their sighting lap, so they're lining up on the grid. What you'll see next is each car in their grid positions, which are Hugo the Wheel from Belgium on pole position, followed by Daniel Chow of China. Then there's Nazim Azman of Malaysia in 3rd position, Kane Shepherd alongside him in 4th place, Qatar from Thailand in 5th, followed by Sam Grimes, the younger of the Grimes brothers, and Ben in 7th.
So what the drivers are about to do now is they're going to have a test start for the formation lap, where they go around the track one more time just to warm up the tires, get the car ready, and to prepare themselves for the race. So what's the goal of the formation lap? What are they thinking?
During the sighting lap, it's for sighting lap. For formation lap, they're now making sure they've got a good clutch bite when they are launching the cars, like you said, the practice start. Then they have to warm up their brakes. Also, they have to be careful because all of them are on fresh rubber, so they make sure that their brakes and tires are a bit up to temperature. I won't say perfect up to temperature because the weather temperatures now has dropped from what we had earlier in the day. So now you're probably taking it easy. You can see they're weaving about, dabbing the brakes, warming them up, warming the tires. Grid positions for race 4 is based on the 2nd best qualifying time. So Hugo the Wheel, his top 2 times in qualifying was good enough to be in pole position again for race 4.
Followed by Kane Shepherd with a 1:43.09, and Daniel Cow in 3rd with a 42.808.
808, yep, correct.
Sorry, that was Daniel Cow is actually on 2nd place.
Then there's Nazim, who did a 1:43.010. Kane Shepherd did a 1:43.090, so they're all within a second of each other. Even Qatar did a 43.2. Sam, however, Ben, however, was knocked with a 10-second penalty because he exceeded the track limits during qualifying.
We had an amazing race in race 3. It was 3 abreast into the final corner, less than 3/10 between the top 3. I mean, the top 3 are there again in the top 4 now. What's this race going to look like?
It's going to be wild.
Hugo the Wild.
Hugo the Wild, yeah. He was wild in race 3. At the start of race, final lap 9, I believe. In race 3, he was 3rd position, but he got up alongside Nazim and Kane. Kane was leading the race, but Kane covered Nazim into the hairpin, and Hugo swept around the outside, beating both of them in one corner. He gained 2 positions. It was amazing.
It was really amazing. So during the break, we were asked, what is Formula 4? Everyone's heard of Formula 1, but a lot less people know what F4 is. So can you give us a quick demonstration?
Okay. In the world, there were a lot of what we call junior formula, and there were many ways to get to Formula 1. But about 4 years ago, FIA decided to not say put away, but more streamline the series. So they created a F4 championship, which is used by, I believe, 12 championships around the world right now. And champions, or those who score points in the championship, will score super license points. This will help you get a license to be able to drive a Formula 1 car in the future.
And they built the FIA pyramid to F1. So basically, you start at 15, 16-year-olds in Formula 4, and then you move up to Formula 3 when you're 18, 19. You move up to Formula 2, and then you graduate into Formula 1.
That's the plan.
So the drivers have just taken their positions on the grid.
Yeah.
We can see the marshals waving the flags. The green flags
up.
waved.
We've got a 5-second board. So red lights will come on, all 5 lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once the lights go out, and they are off. Perfect start this time from Hugo, who did burnouts basically in his first 3 race starts, but for the 4th race, he did a perfect start. Daniel as well did a perfect start. It's a clean start
Sam
from all
trying
drivers.
to make a move there on Cutter, but I think maybe his brother just edged past him in that corner. Oh, they're alongside.
Oh, Daniel's trying to drive down the inside of Hugo into turn 1. And he made it. He made it.
Daniel up the inside.
He's got through to turn 1. So Daniel's now up into the lead, followed by Hugo.
Okay, coming in now to the next corner. Can Hugo take it back from the white number 55?
Hugo's going around the outside at turn 5. That's a brave move on cold tires. And he made it.
Very nice. But can Nazim take advantage of the inside here? The orange car, number 17, trying to get back on number 55.
I think there was more gap between Nazim and Daniel.
A bit too much of a gap there. Maybe in the next few laps. But
That's
Daniel is right on the edge of that number 27.
Daniel cannot let Hugo get away because it'll be tough to catch him. Oh, it's a spinner. 2 cars. There's one kind of gravel. 2 yellow cars. Is it the Grimes brothers?
Is that the Grimes brothers? Have they taken each other off?
Oh dear.
Okay, we're back to the front of the grid now. The battle's still going between Daniel and number 27.
Daniel's got a tough job. He's got Hugo in front of him and Nazim on his tail.
They're all right in front of each other. Do you think there's going to be a move coming into turn 1 here?
Still too early to tell, but Nazim seems to be closer to Daniel than before.
No, not yet. Maybe next lap, maybe next corner. So just an update on that crash. Ben Grimes has gone out, but Sam has rejoined the race at the end of the grid. Oh,
Daniel's now trying to go around the outside into turn 1. Hugo's covering him. Nicely done, Hugo.
Great defensive driving there by Hugo.
Kane's just holding station, staying behind Nazim right now. They have to keep in touch with each other.
So it's 5/10 between the top 3 drivers.
Sam's running by himself all the way at the back.
Kane is about 1 second behind the top 3, followed by Cutter about 1 second back behind that.
All 3 drivers had just did a 1:46 in the first lap.
So if you're Daniel, oh, something's happening here between Nazim. Nope, maybe not. Just a bit too far back.
Move into turn 8. I think Daniel exited turn 7 a bit slow.
A few cars running a bit wide there. So if you're Daniel, you're Nazim. Where are you planning? Actually, if you're Daniel.
Oh, Nazim's gone wide.
Oh,
what happened? What happened to Hugo? Hugo slowed down. What happened there?
Something's happened to Hugo.
Hugo slowed down. He's raising his hands. Has he got a mechanical problem? Safety car is out. Safety car is out. Safety car is out. That's why Hugo raised his hands. Nazim and Daniel has to give back his position. Yep, there you go. Hugo saw the yellows. Hugo saw the yellows, and safety car board, and hence he put his hands up. So now the drivers have redressed the positions.
So return to the original standings. Yes. Nazim, Hugo. Oh, I'm sorry. Hugo, Daniel, Nazim.
Boys are smart enough to redress their positions because the safety car board came out. If they had stayed in the position that they gained, then they would have been penalized.
We think the safety car might have come out to recover Ben. He might be in a dangerous position.
I believe I saw his kind of gravel.
So what's going to happen now is the safety car will lead around the rest of the drivers for 1 or 2 laps until the issue can be resolved, and then we will restart the race.
Let's hope the safety car too long in here.
we're just waiting now for the cars to come around into the safety car. We think there's going to be one more lap until we find out what happened. Okay, we believe that it's Ben's car that's just being recovered. That's why we're in the safety car, but we'll confirm that later. So, okay, Faisal, the drivers now, they're on the safety car. What do you have to do to keep your tires up to temperature and be ready for the restart of the race?
That's the thing, when you're behind the safety car, which you can see is a saloon car, and they are lapping probably about 20 seconds slower than what they're normally doing. So it's very important that they continue weaving and working their brakes to keep the temperatures going, but not going, they can't go too fast. I mean, the safety car is going as fast as it can, but our Formula 4 cars are much, much faster.
And there's no overtaking allowed during the safety car?
Yes, definitely no overtaking. They're just holding positions, but they have to be very safe. So they're keeping their distance.
So we always see in Formula 1 and other racing that at the end of the safety car, the lead driver hangs back to... What's he doing there?
Yeah, that's a tactic. See, what happens is, on the preceding lap, when the safety car goes in, what it does is switches off the lights. So when you see the safety car lights off, means from the last corner or the second last corner, the leading car becomes the safety car, so to speak. So that's a tactic. When they back off, but not too slow, within the regulations, they're actually giving the other drivers, making them back off, and because the lead driver is the one controlling the pace, he will then determine when to accelerate. So if they hold back too far behind, then they'll get left behind. So safety car, I believe, has gone in. Yes, it's green.
Oh, somebody's run really wide there, the blue car.
That's Kane Shepherd.
That's Kane Shepherd.
Race is back on green.
Back on green.
That's a perfect start. Safety after the safety car by Ugo. Seems that was perfect start. Perfect start.
A little bit of a
wiggle.
touch there.
A little bit of wiggle.
So after the safety car now, how does Daniel get back up? How does he regain the lead? What's his plan? What's his action?
Right now, what he can do is keep on track with Ugo, not deviate too much from his racing lines, because he needs to maximize his exit speed so he can draft Ugo down the straights. See, that's what he's trying to do right now. But if he's brave at some of the tighter hairpins, he can probably try a overtaking maneuver, but he needs to be a bit closer. Right now, he seems to be about two car lengths behind Ugo. It's way too far to try to turn 5.
What about Nazim? Let's not count him out. He looks quite close, actually.
He's closer to Daniel than Daniel is to Ugo himself.
Yeah, Nazim's about 4/10 back. Daniel's about 5/10 back.
You can see the gap on the screens. He's about 1 car length behind. Daniel's probably going to get some action from Nazim at the next corner, at the hairpin, turn 12.
So what's next for these young drivers? We talked about the FIA pyramid, but how do you graduate? How do you get into Formula 3?
Generally speaking, most of them are still young. For example, Ugo is only his first year in single-seaters, so he needs to build up more experience. So the ideal position for him would be to stay in Formula 4, maybe 2 years, 3 years.
So you like repeat it a few times until you're good to go?
Yeah, I mean, you're good to go because it's not so much about the technical ability, but, you know, working with data, also having racecraft. Example, I was saying earlier in the previous show, they're from karting, there's no gear changes and so on. So now they're acclimatizing to that. And
Nazim coming out here?
Oh, Nazim's taking the car racing line, but Ugo is very defensive.
Could he undertake them? It was too far back.
No, too far back. If what Ugo did earlier, he could, but Nazim needs to be closer to take advantage of anything happening between those two race leaders. But Ugo has actually got a very bad exit because he made a tighter line into the hairpin. So Daniel is now right on his tail.
He is
You
closing.
can see, they look like they're 1 car. Yep, he is very close. There's going to be a move here at turn 5. Oh, Ugo's covered the line again. But Daniel has a better exit line. Oh, what was that?
They're trying to make a move there on the number 3
There's the two
car,
Thai
Kane
boys,
Shepherd.
Cutter and Kane. Cutter and Kane's very close to each other. Once again, Daniel's trying. Hugo's very defensive. See, by being defensive, he compromises his speed at the corners.
Which is then bunching up everyone else.
Yeah, it gives Nazim a chance as well.
So it must be interesting racing at your national circuit, the Thai rivalry here.
Yeah. That'd be nice to see. Especially for Carter, who wasn't having much good in the previous races. Much good luck.
Nazim just taking a look down the inside there.
Here we go. What did I say? Carter's made his move.
Very nice.
But he's going to go a bit wide. No.
Oh, he's lost
alongside.
it.
That's nice. That's nice.
But can Carter come back again for turn one?
Kane's got the position back. Oh, you can see Kane's trying to weave away from Carter.
But Carter's not giving up
Not giving up. And Carter's going to have a better entry into the hairpin. There you go. All right. Carter's gone a bit wide. He's trying to go around the outside. That's brave. Okay, they're side by side. This is nice. This is nice.
Carter is just ahead coming into the next corner.
Yes, Carter's got it.
He's taking it.
So Kane's got to try. Oh, there's a bit of a jiggle there. Here we go.
Back to the front of the grid now. It looks like Hugo is increasing his lead. He's 5/10 ahead.
All right, Carter's made it. Carter's got decent one-car gap. I think that position should be his unless Kane can close up again. I think the top three leaders are holding station.
Daniel is very slowly Hugo is very slowly pulling away, but Nazim is staying the same distance.
But what the drivers need to realize is this is their first race of 3 on the fresh tires. So they still need to take care of their tires because there's 2 more races after this.
And we've learned from the last 3 races that all the action's on the last 1 or 2 laps.
Exactly, last 2 laps, last 3 laps.
I was speaking to Kane during the break, and he was saying that he's excited about the new rubber. Maybe he can pull off a race win this time.
But he's lost position right now. 5th. And the top tie at the moment is Carter.
Sam is, I think, slowly gaining back up on Kane, though. He's closed the distance a little bit.
Sam just did a 44.4. And Carter, sorry. Yeah, you're right. He's faster. Kane's dropped down his pace. He's doing only a 44. Yo, Hugo's done a 42.8, fastest race lap. But Daniel cannot let Hugo get away.
Daniel is faster in the first sector, though. About 3/10 faster in the first sector.
Nazim's getting closer and closer.
It's a very similar story to the last event, to the last race.
We had these 3 on the podium, right? The race 3.
I think Daniel didn't quite make race 3.
Daniel, yeah. Sorry, that was Kane.
It was Kane. Kane's right.
Nazim would be one to have a race win. He lost it basically on the last lap.
He'll want to get it back from Hugo.
Definitely.
Less than 7/100ths of a second again.
It's not too far, and there's still 4 laps to go.
Do you think Nazim can pull off the same move as Hugo did last race, where he took over the last 2 in the last lap?
The way I see it now, Hugo's holding his pace. You see it from lap times, he's being very consistent. At 142.
Oh no, but this just changes things. Daniel is 2/10 faster on this lap.
Yeah, he's closer now.
2/10 closer.
You see the gap, he's only 1 car length to get to the draft. Oh, Nazim's got left behind slightly there. Sam just went really wide at the first corner. Again, Hugo's covering.
Daniel taking a move here.
Yeah, trying to take a move. They're going to overshoot. Nazim's in with a chance there. No.
But he's got a really good exit. He's gonna take the next corner. He's gonna try and take the next corner.
Hugo's compromised his exit because he kept the tighter line. Nazim's got. Hang on. Hugo's covering to turn 5.
It's really good defensive driving there from Hugo.
Once more, defensive line into turn 5. This helps Nazim because Daniel and Hugo are holding each other up.
Yeah, he lost the 10th on the last lap, but he's back in the race now.
He's right under Daniel's rear wing. This will get interesting at turn 12. This corner is interesting. Turn 10. You can see it actually dips and climbs up again slightly. So you're going over a crest at 11, then down the hill again towards turn 12.
I was talking to the drivers after the last race, and both Ugo and Nazim said their favorite corner is turn 8.
Turn 8?
Pulling it in just before that, that section.
Yeah, because it drops away downwards into the apex. It's like a slight dip, and someone pulls you in. See if Ugo's going to try cover. No, this time he's going to stay on the right side of the circuit.
We hear all the time about champions having customs and traditions and good luck charms. Is that kind of thing translated into motorsport? Do you have like...
I know some people are like that. I mean, example, right? People probably notice if they ever see me get into a race car, when after I put on my helmet, I have this habit of just smacking my head, my gloves on my helmet. And I've seen some of these boys, they have their own... Oh, hang
move
on.
here by Daniel. Nazim going outside as well.
We'll go stay on the inside. That's turn 2. Or turn 5. Daniel's lost some time there. Nazim's gonna probably make a move on Daniel. He's really, really close now. Nazim's really, really close to Daniel. Oh, Daniel's being very defensive there. Oh, he's broken his front wing and plate.
No, that's the whole front wing. That's dragging along the floor there. That's
oh
Nazim.
God, Nazim's race.
Must have been
He must have snapped. It's been too close there. Yeah, his wing is dragging.
Hugo's pulling away now. There's a bit of a gap now between Daniel. But
yeah,
Nazim seems to, he's not slowing down, he's still there.
It seems slightly bent out now, you can see it's moving.
There's only 2 laps to go. What are they going to do about that front wing?
If I was Nazim, I'd just stay on track. Unless it falls away and he loses front downforce.
But Cutter now, number 45, just behind him.
Yeah, Cutter's got a chance for his first podium this weekend. So Nazim's straight line speed is compromised. You see he's covering.
Kane as well, he's moved up. He's very, very close behind Cutter.
There you go. Nazim's taking a defensive line. Cutter's probably going to get him at turn 5. There you go. They're side by side, exiting turn 3. There you go. 3rd, 4th, and 5th are together. Look at that, look at that. Nazim staying on the racing line.
Oh,
whoa, boy!
Oh, that was very close.
Very, very close. And it's a fast corner as well.
But back at... Oh,
Nazim's locked up. Nazim's doing a pretty decent job considering his damaged front wing.
A very good job indeed. Amazing defensive driving considering that wing's about to fall off.
Yeah.
Back at the front, it looks like Daniel is caught back up a little bit.
But now, King Shepherd is right back on Cutter because Nazim's slowing them down.
Does this give Sam a chance to come back? I can't see Sam.
Sam's too far behind
He's too far behind.
take advantage.
Something's happened. Okay, the final corner now.
Oh, there you go. Side by side.
Oh, but
Daniel tried. Well done, Nazim. 3rd position with a broken front wing.
That's amazing driving.
He held it for a whole 2 laps with a broken front wing. Amazing.
You hear stories about these cars being undrivable without their aero. How do you manage to stay in there?
Driving ability. There's some things that you can't get over, right?
So the number 27 car now. How's Hugo feeling?
Must be ecstatic.
Is this his 3rd win of the weekend?
3rd win of the day.
3rd win of the day.
And as we know, he's now the youngest Formula 4 race winner at 15 years old and 2 months, I believe. I had a chat with Oliver, his father. Number 27 is his race number, right? So So if those who follow Formula 1 will know of Gilles Villeneuve, the famous Canadian driver who raced for Ferrari using number 27. And apparently when Hugo was slightly younger, he read a book which his father gave him because Oliver, the father, highly admired Gilles Villeneuve, was his hero. So Hugo adopted that number as his race number, number 27.
So the drivers are just finishing out this lap now, and they'll return to the pit lane, where they'll come to a stop in the garages for the car podium.
Oh, let's see what Nazim trying to do. His front wing end plate's broken. I think that's his second front wing this weekend that is broken. It was probably a small touch when he was right behind Daniel just now. But at least he didn't lose it, so he managed to keep his third position.
What's it like, that feeling of winning the race?
It's hard to describe, especially if it's like for Hugo, he's achieved a triple race win in a single day.
So, well, this is the end of the day for us today. We're back tomorrow with 2 more races. How can the other drivers learn from their mistakes today? How can they come out on top tomorrow?
What they can do right now, go back, regroup mentally, and have a chat with our driver coaches, look at the open data and see what Hugo is doing. Because Hugo is definitely doing something a bit different than what they're doing.
You mentioned open data. What's that?
Okay, all these cars has got a data logger which records their throttle position, their steering angle, the wheel speed, and also how they brake and how much brake pressure they apply. So, and also what we call a GPS map showing the circuit, the layout of the circuit. So by accessing that data, engineers are able to tell what a driver is doing or driving the car at any particular section of the circuit. So using that information, we're able to coach the drivers on how to drive the cars.
And so the open data allows all the drivers to look at everyone else's data.
Exactly. So when we say open data, it means every driver on the grid of F4SEA
to go there celebrating his final win of the weekend.
Yeah, there you go. They're now celebrating with the driver, the crew, and his father there.
Okay, so we're just going to finish off the race here. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again tomorrow for race 5 and 6.